Hello, everybody. I'm Tonya Eberhart, founder of BrandFace. Welcome to another episode of Be Bold Branding, where we help business stars differentiate themselves, and we do that through personal branding.
Hey guys, I'm Michael Carr. I'm the COO of BrandFace. I was a client before I became a partner in the company. We're the only comprehensive personal brand building system across the globe. Thank you for joining us. For this episode of Be Bold Branding. We got some very interesting information to give to you today. I think you'll be interested in here. The 6 best times to work on your brand.
Yeah, we get that question a lot. It's like, okay, well, I'm too busy to work on my brand. I can't work on it right now. Well, things are so slow. I can't afford to do anything with my brand right now. Well, things are chaotic. Well, I'm not sure what direction I'm going in. We're going to clear all of that up today, guys. And we're going to tell you the 6 best times to work on your brand. Okay. So we're going to start with number 1.
That's me, folks. And I talked to Tonya about it before we started this off. I said we should have said 7, and we should have started off with always, right? And then just blanketed this whole thing, right? Brands are so important, and more people are talking about the personal branding. This lady right here has been talking about it for 20 years in the business, right? She wrote a book 6 years ago about it. Like it is something that is becoming very prevalent. So when is a good time? Number 1 is entry into a market, right? Now, I'm in the real estate business. And so when I talk to our people about coming into the program or coming into my brokerage, a lot of them are new. They're starting off with that. So that's a great time for you to work on your brand, because why not start off on the right foot? If you know what your brand is, if you know your point of differentiation, then you start off on the right foot. And what's interesting, and I learned it from Tonya, is even if you're new to whatever industry you're joining in, let's just use real estate as the example. Even if you're new to real estate, you've never sold a house before, guess what, folks? It's personal branding. You have a point of differentiation. You have a point of uniqueness that has been developed over your entire lifespan, right? Everything that has brought you to where you are in the decision-making processes, they make you special and unique. That is a point of differentiation, and we can show you how to leverage that into money, which is what you get into business for.
Number 2 is re-entry into a market. So if you have come into an industry or a market and you moved away from it, did something else for a few years, and you're coming back into it, that's a great time to work on your brand, to reassess that. Because as a lot of people who join our program say, well, I've been out of this industry for quite a while, I'm coming back into it, my goodness, everything's changed. Mm-hmm. And how we market ourselves has changed. Mm-hmm. It's gone from the typical traditional style of marketing to all digital marketing, pretty much, although it hasn't gone to all digital marketing. It is prevalent digital marketing. So when that happens, when you're re-entering an industry or a market, then it is a great time to work on that brand.
It is. Okay, another time is when business is booming, and we do hear this excuse sometimes, and
a lot.
And we can tell it. We track it across the nation, right? Because we have clients in 41 states and 4 provinces of Canada and 3 other countries. Like we're spread out across the globe, and so we see this. And I've told Tonya this over and over and over again. There's a lot of people who put this off because they're already busy. But folks, that's actually the wrong way of thinking about things. We're actually learning more and more about that in the current condition that the nation and the world is in right now. You want to be contrary to what's going on. So if you are super busy right now and you've got a lot of business, guess what your brand needs to tell everybody? It needs to tell everybody why they need to do business with you. People don't do business with a logo. They do business with a person, as is coined by our book. So when you're busy, now is the time to get that brand situated and let that brand precede you. I was the perfect example of this. When I first hired Tonya, and these principles, and she told me how these principles were going to work. I didn't even know that she had written a book at the time that I had hired her. I had an office in Irvine, California. I had an office in Seattle, Washington, and I had an office here in North Atlanta in the suburbs where I was born and raised. I was traveling 250,000 miles a year. I was driving another 60,000 miles. I was staying at hotel rooms 200 nights a year. Like, I was busy. We had at the time 40 people that worked inside the company in the 3 divisions in which which we worked. And we had done that all during the debacle of 2008, 9, and 10. Okay, because when I started in 2007, I was a lone wolf with a secretary. That's what I had from 2000 to 2006, because the brokerage wasn't something that was super important to me at the time. I was making money as an auctioneer and I was traveling. Then when everything exploded and we really got busy, that worked out as a great boon. You're going to see opportunities like this come to fruition in the next 6 months, 9 months, and a year in the United States. But I was very busy. But I knew that I was not always going to continue to be busy in that vein. And so in hiring Tonya, I did say, I don't have the time. And she said, oh, yeah, you do. And she said, and I'm going to make you do it. And it's been one of the greatest things that's ever happened to us. We still practice these principles that we teach in the program. And we've closed more businesses now in a month than we were closing in a year just a couple of years ago. Our business continues to climb, and it continues to climb because we allow our brand to precede us constantly. It's a soldier working for us while we're working on other things and while we're sleeping. And here's the greatest thing. We've done the math, folks. We've got it into a comprehensive program. No matter what business you're in, if you are an entrepreneur of any way, shape, or form, then we have the system to build your brand, to give you focus and direction, and allow that to go ahead of you. And you know how much time it takes? We figured it out. It takes 1 hour and 10 minutes a week. And over the course of 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, if you stretch it out a little bit, you can have a well-defined brand. The way that it is set up, we can have you using that brand within days of coming into the program. The reason why is we know this works, and we know that you need to be building on it. And it's built in a layer by layer system, so you can go ahead and start using it and making money. Folks, let's be honest. Everybody's got an hour a week. Everybody's got an hour a week. I can find an hour a week. We can always find an hour a week. And if that is something that we're investing in our time and ourselves and in our future, it will pay back huge dividends, folks. Huge dividends.
Because your brand is you.
That's exactly right. So when business is booming, get busy.
Well, now let's talk about the elephant in the room, when business is slower. Okay. And we have clients across the 4 different countries, as Michael said, 41 states in the US. And so we're hearing a myriad of different things right now, as you guys can imagine. In some markets, it hasn't stopped. It's like one of Michael's agents was actually trying to buy a home for herself over the weekend, and actually has 5 different, there were 7 different offers on that home over the weekend. It was insane. So a lot of markets are really moving forward fast. And as you can imagine, due to COVID-19, there are a lot of markets that are slowing down. So let's talk about what we're doing during this time. Obviously, logically would tell us, hey, we've got more time now. Let's do the one thing we've been putting off. And that is working on that brand. And now is the time that if business is slower for you, it's absolutely the perfect time, because you're getting something done. You're being very productive. And when we come out of this, as we always do, when we come out of this, you'll be poised for success when you do come out of it, because that brand will be defined, developed, and displayed to set you apart from everybody else. And, you know, one of the things I want you guys to really, really think about is, when you can't change the circumstances, change your circumstances. Mm-hmm. And even if you're somebody out there who says, well, I don't have the funds to do it right now, or, you know, there are a lot of things, there's a lot of content. You can go to our YouTube channel. There's a lot of things that you can learn to at least get you started, right? Mm-hmm. But if you don't have that right now, and you're thinking, okay, well, I need to do something productive with my time, spend time with your family. Spend time cleaning out a closet, as Michael said this morning. Spend time doing things that are going to make you feel more organized, more productive, like you're actually doing something in this downtime. So everybody, you don't have to, you don't have to build a personal brand right now. If you are a business owner, entrepreneur, sales professional, and you've been putting that off because you haven't had the time to do it, dig in and do it. It'll pay dividends beyond your wildest dreams. If you don't, or you cannot do that right now, still, we encourage you to be productive with your time in all the ways that matter most, of course, and that's your family.
Absolutely. All right, the next one is when long-term opportunities in the market appear. Okay, so look down the road. Like again, let's reference real estate. Real estate is a 90-day cycle, maybe 120 days, right? Even in a market, in a hot market where we're selling houses in the first 10 days or 15 days or within 30 days going from contract to closing, it's still a 90-day funnel that you should be building, right? So many industries are the same way. And you want to do that. For those of you who were in different businesses that were affected back in 2008, 2009, 2010, you know this. Like you've seen the bounce back, right? I mean, I have to say this, folks. Like it always comes back. You have to understand something. For every action, there is an opposite reaction. We learned that in ninth grade physical science, and I could be corrected by that by some of our listeners, but it was somewhere around that time frame, right? We learned that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction to what is going on. If there's a massive downturn, there's going to be a massive reward on the other side, right? So look far enough down the road to be able to take advantage of that. So when you see this happen, some people might say, hey, if I establish my brand right now and I don't know what business I'm going to be in 6 months, where's that going to be? Listen, we tell people all the time, you are going to do a brand refresh somewhere around the 5-year mark, but your brand is personal branding. We're going to figure out your point of differentiation, what makes you unique. We're going to tell your story behind that and why people want to do business with you. We're going to attract your ideal customer. That doesn't change. So even if you need to shift just a little bit to the left or to the right, that's nothing more than a refresh. It's not a brand redo. You don't have to do that. The brand is tied personally to you. If you're in an industry where you work underneath something else, like I have agents that work underneath my brokerage, we build their personal brands for them. If they go to another brokerage, they take that brand with them. That brand becomes a part of their identity and who they are. And they're still attracting customers, even if they have to adjust which customers they go after because of long-term opportunities. Are you guys following me? This is why this is important. And once you establish that, you're not going to change. Who you are is not going to change. Your story is not going to change. You're only going to be adding to it. Your business acumen doesn't change. So it's time to work on that, even not knowing what the long term is going to look like with your brand. They can even cross industries. We've seen them cross industries. I'm living proof of that, actually. So now's the time. And you know, if you think about it, like in real estate, a lot of times you could take an area that at one time was baby boomers, coming in there and just building families that are now in walkable communities, right? So there have been agents that over a 10, 15, 20-year time period have changed who their ideal customer is. But that's an easy tweak. That's just simply a few statements on your branding images that changes who you're going after. But you haven't changed the overall brand.
You haven't changed who you are. Right. And the things, the attributes, the traits, the characteristics, your business acumen, the things that make you different in your space, those things haven't changed. They've just, if you need to modify or tweak the brand just a little bit, that's different than changing the whole thing. Okay. And then finally, the number 6 best time to work on your brand. This one trumps them all, guys, because none of the previous ones matter at all if this one is not met. Do you have a well-defined, developed, and displayed brand? And if you don't, it does not matter.
Get one.
None of those phases or stages matter at all, because we've got to start here at ground zero, right? And now, guys, if you are quarantined, if this is a slower time for you and you have the time to focus on it, now is the time to dig in, because the process we do is pretty in-depth process, but it doesn't take a lot of your time to do it.
That's what's
right?
greatest about it.
And I know we have agents right now on the real estate side, and business owners and entrepreneurs on that side as well, who are coming to us saying, okay, I finally am able to take just a little bit of a breath. Let's I'm going to truck ahead. We're going to finish this and get that brand out there. And those were people who were just, they were just got inundated with a lot of different things going on. And now with everybody kind of quarantined, it's like, okay, now I really have time to focus on finishing this.
I need to catch this up. They realize the importance of it.
They realize the importance. Absolutely. So I can't stress that enough, though. If you're wondering, by the way, if your brand is properly defined, developed, and displayed, we have a brand new tool that we just announced we announced the beta of it in 2019 and rolled out the full version of it. It's BrandFace Score. BrandFaceScore.com is where you want to go, and you can actually watch a little video about it and submit a couple of materials to us, and we'll take a look at your existing brand and tell you what's working well, what is doing what it's supposed to, and also where your personal brand might need some improvement. And that's free right now. We're offering that report free to anybody who wants to know, hey, do I have a well-defined, developed, and displayed brand, or what do I need to work on? So it's BrandFaceScore.com, guys. And any final remarks on that?
Well, you can also go to DiscussYourBrand.com if you just want to talk about it. Like if this is the first time you've ever heard personal branding, or how much the money is that going to make me, and you want to ask that question to people that know, you can go to DiscussYourBrand.com, because we also have free sessions, 30-minute session with our staff, and even if you just want to talk about it, hey, tell me more about this, then we're prepared to do that with you, for you. We know that it is catching on more and more and more, the importance of individualism and personal branding. And no matter what genre of business that you're in, it's very important. If you want to be top of mind awareness, if you want to be number one in your market, if you want your business to grow while you sleep, then personal branding is the way that it is done. DiscussYourBrand.com. We'd be glad to talk to you about it.
All right. So if you guys want some content and information that you can't get anywhere else, join us in one of our private Facebook groups. If you are a business owner or entrepreneur, go to Build Your Business Star Brand Facebook group. Build Your Business Star Brand. If you are a real estate professional, go to Build Your Real Estate Brand Facebook group. Click the join button. We are standing by to let you guys in, and we would love to help you build that personal brand. So stay strong, everybody. Stay healthy. Keep what matters most a priority. And if we can help you in the process to better your business once we come out of this, guys, we would be honored to do that.
Absolutely. Folks, over here, we know one thing. We know that it's about prosperity. And I'm not just talking about money when it comes to prosperity. I'm talking about the whole 360 of an abundant life. And we know that prosperity favors the bold. So here we say, be bold, folks, especially with your brand. And thank you, Miss Tonya.
Thank you, Michael.
You guys be safe out there.
You be safe out there. If you guys have questions when you're watching this video, post them in the comments area, and we'll definitely circle back around and answer those for you. All right, everybody have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.